Hello and welcome to Celebrity Goddess Oracle. Today we're going to be using the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards as we ordinarily do. And we had previously looked at Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and we said that we were going to turn our attentions to Harry, so Duke of Sussex, and connect in with the energy today and see what's going on. I mean, wow, there's so much going on at the moment, isn't there, in the press with both Harry and Meghan. As we talked about on our previous one, there's so much that is unknown, obviously, in the public space. We focused in on Meghan previously, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at the energies specifically surrounding Harry today and see what comes up for him. You know, Harry, he's much beloved in the UK, as a lot of people will probably know. There's a lot of sadness around sort of like the situation at the moment, isn't there? And what the outcome's going to be. And I think really and truly, people just want sort of like the best for him, actually. There has been a lot of disappointment and a lot of upset, but I'm sure that going forward things will find a certain calm. So let's connect in now and actually, oh wow, okay, right out of the deck here. Let's just put this up here, okay. Wow, okay, bright future and Mother Earth. Okay, so we'll come back to these two, but connected here. So and let's have a closer look, shall we? Oh wow, okay. I'm not sure about this, so let's keep going. Just one card, please. Just one card. Let's have a look at the energy around Harry. I mean, obviously, I think what we'd all love to see is, you know, a happy outcome for them, wouldn't we? I mean, you know, specifically, I guess, around sort of like the relationship between brothers. I mean, family are not always easy, as we all know, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of concern and wanting of goodwill around them in relation to this. So let's have a look at Harry. Okay. Okay, let's look a bit more closely. Have a look for receptivity, please. You know, as I'm connecting in here, I can feel this great level of reluctance. You know, this sort of like real level of reluctance and sort of like resistance, I think is the right word. You know, I guess which just connects to receptivity here. So let's have a look more closely at this. Let's have a look at receptivity. Okay. And for the arts, I feel with, I mean, I'm not sure because, well, because I don't know Harry, obviously, but this is a guy who, wow, I'm going to say stubborn. Like, really quite a stubborn character, actually. Which is, I don't know if that's how we really see him or not, but it's not really, I'm not sure that's how I see him. But yeah, a real kind of reluctance, a real stubbornness. Okay, let's see if we can connect in further here. Let's talk about miracles and delegations. So let's see what comes up here. Okay. Gosh, even trying to read him is hard. It's like, no, I don't. The energy is like, nope. Nope. You know, when children sort of like dig their heels in and have tantrums in supermarkets because, you know, they want a sweetie and their mum and dad won't give them a sweetie. It's a bit like that, which I'm sure some people actually looking at this would probably think that that's actually quite true. So let's have a look at the overarching energy card, right? Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, perfect. Right. Okay. So the last two cards were Quiet Time and Fairness, and we'll come back to those, okay? And also the first two cards that came up was the Bright Future and Mother Earth. Okay. Okay, wow. I think we need one more card actually for the beginning, because we've got receptivity and infinite supply. Oh, and here we go. Okay. Right, so that makes sense. So wow, there's a real stubbornness here as I connected in. That's the first thing that I really, that was the energy that sort of came up. It's not a judgment. I'm not trying to be unkind, but almost quite immature actually. Level of immaturity. I likened it to sort of like children resisting their parents in sort of the supermarket when they're not given their own way. And there's definitely that energy here in receptivity. This is give and take. I mean, look, I don't think anybody thinks for 1 minute that Harry is going to be without money and without resources and without sort of access to these things. That's always going to be in his future. But, there is this push and pull. There is this sort of like need to sort of be receptive, not just receptive to receiving, because I think to be fair, I think they've been given a lot. I think Harry in particular has been given a lot. There's been talk about, not being given support and obviously money he has been given, but there's this talk about not being given support, and I get this feeling that that's not entirely true. I get this feeling here as I connect in that there has been a lot of support. It's just that there's been this reluctance and this resistance and this not willing to receive, not willing to receive good advice, not willing to receive goodwill, a pushback. But right or wrong, and I'm not here to sort of comment on what's right or wrong at all. I mean, it's very hard to tell what's right and wrong in situations, and often it's not black and white, and often it's somewhere grey and somewhere in between. But I do feel I do feel that obviously we haven't seen the full picture. I've got no doubt that in amongst it all, nobody will have come to this, entirely with clean hands, let's put it that way. And there's probably a lot of, strong opinions, shall we say. But, I think that there is going to be, you can see here, there is going to be this standing strong, there is going to be this happy outcome. And this is going to allow him to move on. This is a man, and we can see here, overarching here, this Mother Earth card here, okay? This was in Megan's reading also. And this man does have a deep connection to environmentalism and the earth. I mean, we talked about it with Megan that, also they haven't exactly necessarily walked the talk all of the time, but I do believe that this is actually a genuine sentiment. And as they connect with working in this sort of sector, Harry's sort of happy place here is in connection with the arts as well, and the more creative side of things. And his actions, we are talking about him. There is going to be healing with this. This is a man that, well, we all know that he's experienced a certain level of pain, and they say that you can't really teach that which you haven't experienced, and I think that's probably true. But this is a man, because of his past, and here we go, as I say, the past life comes up, and this is karma. He has this ability to bring healing. And I feel, obviously we know about the situation. There needs to be a real healing of the self. And real healing, this starts with the self, because this is karma here, okay? It goes back to what we're saying. You cannot give which you have not received yourself, and you don't know. And this is a man that eventually will bring healing, this what he's learnt in terms of self-healing to others. And this is part of his karmic cycle. It's part of his karmic cycle, which is here. Okay, let me just put this up here for the minute. I feel that they're going to have another child. I don't know why I say that, because I don't necessarily see it before I didn't see this, but I think there will be. I feel there's a reason, you know, a reason around why. There's something stopping it, but I feel that they're, you know, in connection to their home life and having another child. I think they will have another child, actually. I can see it. If you're asking me my opinion, I wouldn't say that they would, actually, but I'm seeing something different here. They really need to connect with other people. So when it says to start delegating here, the change and the change that they're looking for in their home life, right? It's not about delegation, it's about connection, right? It's helping others and, you know, trying to do everything yourself. These people have isolated themselves. Harry's isolated himself, and he's sort of, this comes back to this receptivity here. It's like, you know, you have to you have to be willing to, you know, in order to receive, you have to be willing to receive. You have to be open to receiving. You know, you can't say, I'm not getting, and then sort of like push people, you know, close the barriers and not allow people to give this to you. I mean, you have to come to, in order to receive, you have to come into a state of openness. And that's where this card comes into. You can't do everything yourself. You can't do everything yourself. And you have to be open to allowing other people to help you. Things are not going to be, it's a bit like stating the obvious, I think, but things are not going to be happy for a while. You know, it's going to take a while for things to settle down, but ultimately they really are going to settle down. They are going to settle down. And we've talked about sort of like this overarching of his real connection with environmentalism and Mother Earth. And, you know, he's also got the bright future card here. Everything's going to be fine. So let's talk about these two cards, because this is the overarching energy, quiet time and fairness. So we talked about it in Megan's reading too, because we said that these cards came up also, and they did. So in order for things to settle down and for things to change, you know, there's this need and acceptance that things take time. Obviously there's been a lot of talk about that. Is like the Queen has put out a statement, the royal family put out a statement, is that, you know, this is going to take time. You know, it's going to take time to do it. And, you know, really and truly, this is not a delay tactic. Depending on, you know, it doesn't matter on your point of view or not. This is an incredibly complex situation and quite unprecedented, I think, obviously. Irregardless of, you know, if you think it's the right thing or not, you know, the facts are that this is a very complex situation that needs to be handled. And, you know, there's been talk, we talked about it with Megan as well, this sort of discussion of unfairness, you know, will it be dealt with in a fair manner, and is it possible, and, you know, but there is this, and we talked about this once again with Megan, and it's the same, it's reflected in Harry's reading too, is that there's this real desire for fairness and for love that comes with it. And there is fairness in this situation, and there is, and it will come to being fair, and the outcome will be really good. I think, you know, after all this settles down, you know, there will be this bright future, as we've seen, and it will be connected with his greatest desire, which really is genuinely connected to the environment. This is a man, this is not just sort of like I think some of their actions, unfortunately, Harry's actions even as well, have been inconsistent, which has brought up this question of whether or not, you know, this connection with the environment is a genuine one, because, you know, they haven't in some things walked their talk. But, you know, this shows very clearly that this is genuine with him. And also, it came up in Megan's reading that it's genuine. So this really is a genuine thing in each of them, and is a genuine connection between them. Obviously, they need to handle things differently. There's a receptivity issue there, but you know, this is ultimately all going to work out. So let's move on to the Wild Unknown Animal Spirits. This is by Kim Kranz. I've shown you this before. So we're going to have a look at his overarching totem energy. Isn't that beautiful? I love her stuff, Kim Kranz. Beautiful. So let's have a look as we're connecting. I think ultimately what we all wish is, you know, we all wish the best for him, you know? Okay, isn't this interesting? Okay, all three out at the same time. So the eagle overarching, right? So the eagle represents all seeing, all knowing, you know, connection to the sun god, connection to the higher power, having wisdom. And you know, I think there is a wisdom with Harry. I feel that this is sort of like not just where he is at the moment, but is within him. So this is his overarching energy, and he has this ability to see things from a greater height, and there's a need for him to do that. The zebra comes in as, I guess this is a perfect card for Harry really, playful, young at heart, but also visionary. You know, the zebra as an energy comes in as somebody that's not just, you know, young and skylarking and unserious, but also through that playfulness and through that view of the world can actually see things in a different way, which I think is really going to bring results for him. And there's going to be this, as he moves into the next stage of what he's doing, I think we're really going to see for him innovation. Actually, there's going to be things that he comes up with that we haven't seen before. And beaver, well, we had otter, didn't we, I think, for Megan, and beaver is also another connection to Canada and where they are. The beaver energy is one of building boundaries, of family, of hunkering down and bunking in, and of self-protection, and connected to grounding energy. So we've got this oversight, we've got this young and playful, and the beaver comes in as a family and connecting and grounding energy for him. I see good things. I see good things for Harry. There are definitely challenges. He's certainly going to require to, you know, bring this sort of eagle energy, because there is this stubbornness with him, and it might surprise people actually, but he really does have a stubborn streak, but his future is bright. And you know, I really look forward to seeing you know, what he does and how things work out for him. We're obviously going to look at sort of their relationship in a different reading. So this is really just about focusing on him as an individual. And I'm sure, you know, irregardless of absolutely everything, we all hope that it works out for the best. And you know, there's certainly that sort of energy around him. So if you would like to, I'd love you to like what I'm doing. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. We're all gods and goddesses in our own lives. If you would like a personal reading, I do personal readings. If you think that would be helpful for you, that would be amazing. Thank you for taking the time to watch. And if you've got any comments, put them in the space below. And if you've got any suggestions on who you would like me to read next, I'm always open to suggestions. That would be great. And until the next time, make sure you look after yourselves and you look after each other, and sending you love. Thank you.